This is Mlc TV News, reaching you live from the city of Lokoja, Kogi State. I am Sharifat Onono Mohammed. The headlines: stakeholders from the North Central geopolitical zone has called for a review of the current revenue sharing formula by the federal government. Enugu government extend verification of status of monetized quotas. Plastic pollution in oceans and other bodies of water becomes a burden. Calls for urgent attention by UN Environment Program. Government storms Oyo Prison, free over 1,000 prisoners. Now the news in detail. Stakeholders from the North Central geopolitical zone has called for a review of the current revenue sharing formula in the country, stating that it was no longer realistic to maintain the model. Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello, who declared the meeting open, canvassed a revenue mode of 39%, 35% and 26% among federal, state and local governments, as against the current 52.68%, 26.72% and 20.60% to encourage national development. He made the advocacy at a one-day zonal public hearing organized by the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission at Government House, Lokoja. The governor, who was represented by the State Deputy Governor Edward Onoja, said the main objective of revenue allocation was to promote national unity and accelerated economic growth of all tiers of government, contending that the formula currently in place had failed to achieve the nation's developmental aspirations.
And I believe that I speak for not just my brother governors of the North Central, but for all governors in Nigeria, when I say that the federal government must now consider relinquishing portions of our share to the other two tiers of government.
He further advocated that two tiers of the government revenue should be considered.
This is the time to make room for the extra, back-breaking burden which states bear in catering for over-bloated workforces.
Edward Onoja urged Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission that this is the right thing to do and this is the time to do it. He suggested a new formula allocation.
Clearly, the case of an enhanced revenue share for the second and third tier governance has never been stronger. I urge the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission that this is the right thing to do and this is the time to do it.
On the alleged EFCC claim of the state governor of 20 billion naira, he called on the EFCC to be more proactive.
We still challenge them, therefore, to clarify publicly to Nigerians if in all of their current hide and seek with one of the banks in this country, they have discovered that even one kobo, which legitimately belongs to the people of Kogi State, was misapplied or misappropriated.
RMAFC Chairman Elias Mba revealed that the Commission, by virtue of paragraph 32, part 1 of the third schedule to the 1999 Constitution, as amended, empowered the Commission to review from time to time the revenue allocation formula and principles in operation to ensure conformity with changing realities.
So if we do the review and each state gets appropriate revenue to address its responsibilities, it will influence everything, the totality of what we do.
The State Commissioner for Finance, Budget and Economic Planning, Asiwaju Idris, said the essence of the meeting cannot be overemphasized.
We've been spending a lot of our resources on the services, the salaries and pension, with little to handle the investment in the infrastructure. So if there's an improvement in this, it means one, there will be more revenue for projects, the agitation of civil servants for minimum wage and other increment can be made available. And when we have that, that is how the multiplier effect can help to reflate the economy of the state.
On the state investments, he also spoke.
You know, so when you are dealing with something that's very big, it takes time to come up. It's like someone that's building a big, a 3-story or 10-story building. By the time it's working underground, people will still look as if they are not doing anything until when they begin to build. The structures are there, the institutional framework are there. Just last week, the NPC MOU that we signed 3 years ago, they brought it back for review so that because they are ready to work, they have gotten an investor that is coming to work with the state. So we hope we can finish that one this year for the betterment of our people.
Other states, including Plateau, Nasarawa, Benue, Kwara, and Niger, equally agreed that there was an urgent need to reconsider the current revenue sharing formula to ameliorate the hardship of the other two tiers of government of the current economic realities. Kogi State Executive Council has approved the 2022 appropriation bill to be forwarded to the State House of Assembly for approval. The government also promised to continue to secure life and properties in the state. The state commissioners who briefed journalists after the state government's ESCO on decisions taken also announced the new Ata Igala as Matthew Opolua.
The state commissioner for finance, Ashere Idris, who was briefing the State House correspondent, says the government also approved intervention package to reduce the effect of various repayments of federal government intervention.
18 billion 746 million 59,992 naira 57 kobo as a bridge financing to cushion the effect of various repayments of federal government intervention.
He says the ESCO equally approved P1 Aggregation Limited as a consultant to coordinate and manage Alabama stable crops processing zone. Also, he says the drafted budget of accelerated result was approved to the tune of over 145 billion naira only.
The ESCO approved the total estimated revenue, recurrent revenue and capital receipt of 145 billion 896 million 72,913 naira. The ESCO equally approved a total estimated expenditure of recurrent and capital expenditure of the same amount. The ESCO approved a balanced budget of 145 billion 896 million 72,913 naira only.
The Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Ozigi Salami, announced the approval and appointment of Matthew Alhaji Opalua as the new Ata Igala after 14 months. The Commissioner says the appointment followed diligent scrutiny by the commissioned committee.
The reason why some people observed that there was a delay in a bit was because we tried to follow the law, follow the process meticulously and judiciously. And today, Matthew Alhaji Opalua has been approved by the governor as the next Ata of Igala.
He announced the appointment and upgrading of over 17 traditional stools across the state's senatorial districts. They are on security. The Commissioner for Information and Communication reiterated the state governor's commitment to maintain the security surveillance in the state. He said the administration will not trade the lives of citizens for anything. Warned criminals to stay away from Kogi State.
Council approved a contract for the construction of office and residential quarters of mobile police squadron unit at Oro in Okene local government area. This is to serve as incentives to security men and women who are working day and night to make Kogi State the #1 security state in the country. Also, Council approved the procurement and installation of 461 units of 3-in-1 integrated solar-powered street light for Lokoja Township.
He also informed journalists of state government decision on the face-off between her and the Economic and Finance Crime Commission, EFCC.
And we are standing on the ground that the only acceptable thing for the anti-corruption agency is to ensure that they apologize to the state and retract all those allegations that they swore to an oath to peddle before a competent court of jurisdiction.
On health matters, FAO also said that the government took decision to provide logistics for the agency to perform its duties. The commissioner added that the government assigned additional workers to the engineer handling the flyover to construct and deliver the best road. He said the state government has decided to acquire license to be able to have some level control over solid minerals in the state.
I have decided to strengthen the solid minerals sector of the state by ensuring that we acquire licenses to be able to have some level of control on our solid minerals in the state with a view to using this to generate a lot of revenue. As you are aware, control of solid mineral is exclusively that of the federal government, but state governments are smartly coming into the feed by ensuring that they obtain licenses to be able to operate.
He has called on the people to take ownership of the facilities and utilities provided for them by protecting them from vandals. Various awards collected on behalf of the government were handed over to him for being the outstanding government on security, education, financial transparency, and many more. Faith Abdul Ghaffar reporting for Mlc Tv.
The administration of Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi of Enugu State has announced the extension of time for the verification of the status of all monetized government quarters in the state till November 10, 2021. The extension, according to a statement by the Commissioner for Information, Nnayelugu Chidi Aro, was in response to various requests and appeals from affected persons. The statement therefore advised all affected allottees to ensure that they use the opportunity of the extension to participate in the verification exercise at the conference room of the Office of the Secretary to the State Government, Abuja Building, Government House, Enugu, from 9 a.m. daily. He added that consequently, all allottees of monetized government quarters who have not yet participated in the verification exercise now have till the 10th of November 2021 to do so. Jigawa State and local government contributory pension scheme have begun the payment of retirement benefit to 200 retirees. The executive secretary of the scheme, Kamilu Aliu, disclosed this to newsmen in Duse while speaking on the activities of the board. Aliu said the beneficiaries were those who retired from service in the state, local council, and local education authorities. He further explained that the payments comprise retirement benefits, death pension balance, and refund of 8% contribution. The executive secretary added that 83 of the beneficiaries were from state service, 72 from local council, and 45 from LEAS. According to him, the 200 beneficiaries will be paid over 331 million naira. 47 beneficiaries from the state service will be paid over 99 million naira as retirement benefits. 52 from the local council will be paid over 72 million naira, while 22 from LEAS will be paid over 26 million naira for death benefits. 15 retirees from the state will get over 38 million naira. 14 from local council will be paid over 27 million naira, while 18 from LEAS will get over 47 million naira for death pension balance. 9 beneficiaries from the state will be paid over 9 million naira. 6 from local council will be paid over 1.6 million naira, while 5 from the LEAS will be paid over 6.8 million naira. Also, for a refund of 8% contribution, 12 beneficiaries from the state will be paid over 1.2 million naira, Aliu said. He assured the state government and the board will continue to ensure prompt payment of retirement benefits as and when due. Nigerian billionaire businessman Femi Otedola has on October 22, 2021 taken over First Bank of Nigeria PLC. He took over the First Bank with his recent acquisition of about 30 billion worth of shares, making him the single largest shareholder of the bank. According to the report, Otedola being the largest shareholder means he holds the highest voting shares and can dictate the direction of the bank through his voting. It will be recalled that when Otedola divested his 75% direct and indirect shareholding in Fort Oil via a merger of his company Zenon Oil and former African Petroleum in 2019, The decision raised the question as to why he made such a decision, especially because of the lucrative nature of the oil and gas sector. As at the time, newsmen recalls that Otedola had announced that he wanted to explore and maximize business opportunities in refining and petrochemicals. Otedola singled out First Bank despite having investment in the real estate and financial sector, for the single reason that there wasn't exactly one man calling the shots there. Unlike in other new generation banks, the report added. Meanwhile, it was reported that Otedola wasted no time in taking advantage of the leadership crisis that rocked the First Bank not too long ago that led to the Central Bank of Nigeria sacking both the chairman of the bank, Ibukun Awosika, and Obafemi Otudeko, the chairman of FBN Holdings. Plastic pollution in oceans and other bodies of water has continued to grow sharply and could more than double by 2030, according to an assessment released by the UN Environment Programme. The report highlights their consequences for health, the economy, biodiversity, and the climate. It also says a drastic reduction in unnecessary, avoidable, and problematic plastic is crucial to addressing the global pollution crisis overall. It proposes an accelerated transition from fossil fuels to renewable energies, the removal of subsidies, and a shift towards more circular approaches to help reduce plastic waste at the needed scale, titled From Pollution to Solution: A Global Assessment of Marine Litter and Plastic Pollution. The report shows that there is a growing threat across all ecosystems, from source to sea, but it also shows that there is the know-how to divert the mounting crisis, provided the political will is there and urgent action is taken. The document is being released 10 days ahead of the start of the crucial UN Climate Conference, stressing that plastics are a climate problem as well. Addressing solutions to the problem, the authors highlighted the chances of getting out of the plastic pollution crisis. They warned against damaging alternatives, such as bio-based or biodegradable plastics, which currently pose a threat similarly to conventional plastics. Executive Director of UNEP, Inga Anderson, said, "This assessment provides the strongest scientific argument to date for the urgency to act and for collective action to protect and restore our oceans from source to sea." She said that a major concern is what happens with breakdown products such as microplastics and chemical additives, which are known to be toxic and hazardous to human and wildlife health and ecosystems. The human body is similarly vulnerable. Plastics are ingested through seafood, drinks, and even common salt. They also penetrate the skin and are inhaled when suspended in the air. In water sources, this type of pollution can cause hormonal changes, developmental disorders, reproductive abnormalities, and even cancer. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde said the state had become a prime investment destination in Nigeria. Makinde, who spoke at the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Conversation with African Forum, held in Gaborone, Botswana, represented by his Chief of Staff, Segun Ogunyi, said the state would take full advantage of the AFCFTA. In a press statement issued by Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Taiwo Adisa, stated that the Governor listed renewable energy, agriculture and agribusiness, real estate, tourism, mining and educational sectors as areas with key investment opportunities in the state. It says Makinde mentioned that the Ibadan Dry Port, auxiliary aviation, facilities at the Ibadan Airport, Ilututu Business District, road and transport infrastructure targeted at economic development are some of the key investment opportunities in the state. He said that the availability of over 2.7 million hectares of arable land for backward integration and outgrower schemes, among others, placed Oyo State at a position of advantage for investment in agriculture. The governor, who equally called for investment in the state's real estate, tourism and hospitality, mining and education sectors, said there were various government incentives and support for all categories of investments, including public-private partnership agreements. The State Commissioner for Public Works, Infrastructure and Transport, Professor Dahoud Kehinde Songodoyin, who also spoke at the forum, further highlighted what he called the huge opportunities open to investors in the state in the infrastructure sector. Gombe State government has urged proprietors of Sangaya schools to embrace the government's policies and programs. Yahaya at a stakeholders meeting convened by the Better Education Service Delivery for All for Islamic scholars and community leaders in the state said, objective of the meeting is to equip and improve the capacity of Islamic teachers to meet the teaching needs of the 21st century. The governor said they would discuss better ways of improving the Sangaya education system in the state. He also said that many Muslim countries like Morocco, Sudan, and Indonesia have done very well in upgrading the Sangaya system and making it fit into the requirements of our time. Governor Muhammadu Yahaya said the number of out-of-school children in Gombe is alarming. The National Senior Secondary Education Commission seeks to partner with critical stakeholders, state governments, and traditional institutions to reposition senior secondary education in Nigeria. The Executive Secretary Benjamin Abakpa said the commission had not been operational since its enactment. Despite that, secondary education is pivotal to academic excellence and low-level manpower, which forms the bedrock of national development. Still on the news hour, we shall be right back after the break.
Mlc TV Online is here. For your timely and reliable news that reaches you fast with the breaking news, choose Mlc TV. Get human interest stories right here on Mlc TV. With entertainment, sports, business, culture, tourism, and fashion news stories all featured on Mlc TV. Not forgetting political and current affairs news, state and federal government and people's matters will be discussed regularly on Mlc TV. Mlc TV, your one-stop online destination for unbiased, accurate news, entrepreneur ideas, and youth matters to the rest of the world. Mlc TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone.
Welcome back. Through the executive chairman of Adavi local government, the entire Enugu clan of Adavi local government area has paid an appreciative visit to Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello over the recent upgrade of the traditional stool of Adeika of Enugu. His Royal Highness Ali Shaibu, from 3rd class to 1st class chief. The delegations involve both elders, women, and youth led by the president of the clan, Malam Audu, and they were received by the council chairman in his residence. The president of the clan in his opening remarks said the visit is to appreciate the governor through the Adavi local government chairman, Joseph Omoyasalami, for bringing sanity in grading traditional stool and uniting the good people of Adavi. He further urged the council boss to continue following the footsteps of his principal as he acknowledged Governor Yahaya Bello's leadership qualities. Said they are both worth emulating by those who desire to excel, stand for justice, and liberate people from dictators. Other delegated members from the clan expressed their joy and gratitude. Thanked the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Barrister Ozigi Salami, for ensuring that equality and equity are served as at when due. His Royal Highness Shaibu Ali Adeika of Enugu, whose stool was upgraded, thanked the Governor Yahaya Bello for finding the clan worthy of recognition in his own time and upgrading their traditional stool to the apex of rank, and words can never quantify the noble gesture. He noted that it is not a surprise that the governor is excelling politically, and in reality, this is because he considers God first in all his affairs, and one with God is always a majority. He urged council chairman to continue to unite the people of Adavi, as that will speak for him in years to come. There was tension around the palace of Ezearo in Aruchuku local government area of Abia State as soldiers and militants of the indigenous people of Biafra exchanged gunfire. Security sources confirmed to journalists that 5 members of the outlawed group fell to the superior firepower of the armed gang. The IPOB militants were said to have stormed the community to enforce the sit-at-home order declared by the outlawed group. Kanu was arraigned on a 7-count charge at an Abuja court on Thursday and he pleaded not guilty. A source said immediately residents of the areas got news that the IPOB leader had been brought to court, they took to the streets in celebration. The source said the IPOB members, who were also in a jubilant mood that Kanu is alive, contrary to reports they had been getting about the safety of the separatist leader, marched on the streets. On arriving the first bank exit of the town, the IPOB members exchanged gunfire with soldiers. The security source said 5 members of the pro-Biafra group bowed to the superior firepower of the troops. He said the gunshot caused pandemonium in Arochukwu as residents scuttled into nearby bushes. Following the activities of criminal elements terrorizing Itobe and its environs, particularly the Itobe-Ayimba Highway, the police operatives attached to Itobe Division under Ajakuta Area Command arrested the duo of Danlami Shaibu and Kabiru Amodu, both of Adumu village, who were suspected to be responsible for a series of kidnap activities around the area. The suspects were arrested by the police team following intelligence-led operations to contain the activities of criminal elements in the area. The suspects confessed belonging to a gang responsible for the terrorizing road users along Itobe-Ayimba Highway. According to the state DSP, Williams Ovie Anya, the police public relations officer to the Commissioner of Police, said, during preliminary investigation, one of the suspects gave useful information that led to the arrest of the other suspect named Adeja Tijani of the same address on the 22nd October 2021. Upon search of their houses, the following items were recovered: 1 cut-to-size single-barrel gun, 1 locally made pistol, 1 POS machine, 1 battle axe, 1 face mask, 5 live cartridges, and some assorted charms. While effort is ongoing to arrest other members of the gang, all the suspects will be charged to court on the conclusion of investigations. The Commissioner of Police, Kogi State Police Command, CP Idrisu Dauda Daban, while commending the officers for the breakthrough, assures members of the public of the command's determination in synergy with other security agencies in the state to ensure adequate safety of life and property. Efforts of the Kogi State government to rid the state of kidnappers, bandits, and armed robbers yielded yet another success as government-backed professional hunters bust a kidnapper den, rescuing kidnapped victims in the process. The operation, which took place yesterday on Okene Auchi Forest, led to the death of one of the hunters, Alhaji Jaoji, who paid the supreme price. Jaoji, an indigene of Bauchi State, was a member of the professional hunters that have ensured criminals do not make the state, especially Okene, Okehi, Adavi, and bordering communities with Kogi, a safe haven for their dastardly acts. Present at the scene of the operation were the executive chairman of Okehi, Abdurrahim Ohiare Ozovehe, his Okene and Ogori Magongo counterparts, Abdurrazak Mohammed and Goke Oparison. Remains of the slain hunter, Abdullahi Jaoji, was later conveyed to Okehi local government chairman's quarters, donated to the professional hunters by the council chairman, where janaza prayers were offered for the heroic hunter. The council chairman, after the interment, pleaded with members of the public. The council chairman, after the interment, pleaded with members of the public to help the government with use of persons or Fulani seen with gunshot wounds, noting that most of the kidnappers were seriously injured during the crossfire with hunters. They assured residents of the state of their safety, disclosing that Governor Bello has mandated all council chairmen to ensure strict vigilance and effective coordination of security activities in their areas. In separate remarks, the chairman lauded the commitment of the present administration to issues of security, stressing that efforts of the government in achieving a safe, secure, and peaceful Kogi is commendable. Meanwhile, the governor has condoled with the hunters and immediate family of the deceased, assuring of his continued support to the family he left behind, as his sacrifice would further reignite the fight against criminal elements in the state. May the soul of the dead rest in peace. Security is our collective effort. Let us join all the government to ameliorate the menace in our society. Not less than 1,000 prisoners have reportedly escaped from the Abolongo prison in Oyo town after some gunmen attacked the correctional center and freed all inmates. Report says that the gunmen arrived in their numbers on Friday night, started shooting sporadically, and released the inmates who their various destinations. A source who told newsmen said there was a little bit of panic around the prison vicinity during the time of the escape, as residents around thought it was a robbery attempt. According to reports gathered, security agencies have been mobilized to support men and women of the Nigerian Correctional Service in tracking down the fleeing gunmen and rearresting the prisoners. On the foreign scene, Bitcoin has set a new record, reaching a new all-time high of $66,000 on Wednesday. The latest climb was fueled by its first-ever exchange-traded fund, according to official data. Bitcoin, the world's largest cryptocurrency by market cap, saw its price climbing to $66,200 level, the data showed. The new record came amid the much-anticipated first Bitcoin-linked ETF started trading on the New York Stock Exchange on Tuesday with a ticker BITO. BITO closed Tuesday at $41.94, up 4.85% from its initial price of $40, while it saw a $1 billion trading volume on the first day of trading, bringing in around $570 million of assets on its debut. The last time Bitcoin broke a record above the key resistance level of $64,000 came on April 14, according to the data. Between April and July, however, the price of Bitcoin has plummeted by more than 50%, diving to below $30,000 on July 20th, so as low as over $29,000. Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister Gaston Brownie had declared that the authorities will arrest a Nigerian couple who are thought to be fleeing to the country after pulling off a 22 billion naira fraud in Nigeria. The Prime Minister said that he heard that the couple, Bamise and Elizabeth Ajetumobi, had obtained Antiguan and Barbudan passports, citizenship, under the CIP program, and now that person is now wanted for defrauding some Nigerians. Brownie said that he had already put system in place to ensure that if he's not here yet, that they captured him on his way here, because Antigua and Barbuda is not going to be a refugee for scams. Brownie reiterated that the citizenship by investment program is not meant to attract criminals, saying that the CIP program is designed to attract and to incentivize investment, not to be a safe haven for crooks. This government will continue to do all in its power to ensure that those who violate and seek refuge here are eventually repatriated to where they come from. It's just a matter of time. Some of them may get temporary refugee here, but they have no doubt that ultimately they will be repatriated. The passports of the fleeing couple and their minor children surfaced on the internet earlier this week after reports emerged that they had fled Nigeria after their Ponzi scheme, called Emerging Global Solutions Limited, collapsed, leaving thousands of investors stranded. Data entries on their passports show that the husband and one of their minor children procured their passports on the same day, April 29, 2021, while the wife procured her passport a few days later on May 1, 2021. The Ajetumobis were only detected to have fled Nigeria last week. Their company operates a micro-lending service to small and medium businesses and offered 22% interest on loans and 10% returns on investors. Over to Aliu Nasiru on Sports Today.
Now sports. UEFA has doubled down on its opposition to FIFA's plan for biennial World Cup, saying it will stand against them until common sense prevails and they are dropped. FIFA wants to shorten the gap between the flagship men's and women's tournament to 2 years as part of an overhaul of the international calendar from 2024 and is currently consulting with national associations, confederations, fans, clubs, players and leagues. Crystal Palace manager Patrick Vieira is paying little attention to Newcastle's position in the Premier League and expects the visitors to show their worth to the club's new owners on Saturday. The 19th-place Magpies travel to Selhurst Park this weekend to play their second match since Amanda Stavelli's Saudi-backed consortium completed their takeover of the club. One of the first decisions made by the new owners was to sack Steve Bruce on Wednesday, and even though they have failed to win after 8 league games, Vieira knows Newcastle motivation will be high. Vieira added, "I don't think this is a must-win. The performance we are going to put on the field will tell us if we have a chance of winning the game or not." He cautioned his players to be wary of Newcastle. Other matches will be played this weekend. That's Sports Update. I'm Aliu Nasir reporting for MLC TV.
Thank you, Aliu, for the updates. Now we go over to Matthias Ayodeji for entertainment news.
On our foreign entertainment news, US actor Alec Baldwin fired a prop gun that killed a cinematographer and wounded the director on a film set in New Mexico. U.S. law enforcement officers said the incident happened on the set of Rust in the southwestern U.S. state, where Baldwin is playing the lead in a 19th century western. Helena Hopkins and Joel Schwarzer were shot when a prop firearm was discharged by Alec Baldwin, the sheriff in Santa Fe said in a statement. Hopkins, who is 42 years old, was transported to the hospital by helicopter but died of her wounds, while Schwarzer, who is 48, was taken by ambulance and is receiving treatment. No charges has been filed over the incident, which is being investigated, with witness interviews ongoing. A spokesperson from the production told reporters that the accident involved the misfire of a prop gun with blanks. A sheriff spokesman told the publication that the director was in a critical condition. The incident took place at the Bonanza Creek Ranch, a production location near Santa Fe, which is popular with Hollywood filmmakers. In Africa, Nigerian star actress Kemi Lala Akindoju has confirmed her latest international feature in Walt Disney's Rise. The actress, who stars in the film alongside veteran actress Joke Silva, recently confirmed via Instagram that she also doubled as the film Nigerian casting director. Rise, a Disney Plus original movie based on the real-life experiences of Milwaukee Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo and his family, will debut in 2022. Family, dedication, devotion. So excited and honored to have worked on this production in 2 capacities, Nigerian casting and acting, Akindoju wrote. Kemi also paid a tribute to deceased music star Sound Sultan for introducing her to young Nigerian basketball players. To the late Sound Sultan, who connected us with some amazing young basketball players when we started the search. Thank you, bro, she added. Partly shot in Nigeria, Rise, directed by Aki Omotosho, followed the life and family of the Milwaukee Bucks star following his parents' emigration from Nigeria to Greece. Matthias Ayodeji Peter, reporting for Mlc TV. Back to our caster for more stories.
Thank you, Matthias, for the update. And that's today's news package. Join us tomorrow via the same channel. For sponsorship and advert placement, call the numbers displayed on your screen. Or visit our social media handles, Facebook, Mlc TV, Instagram, Mlc TV 2021, YouTube, Mlc TV. I am Sharifat Mohammed. Thanks for staying with us.